Good day, everybody. My name is Craine. I'm president of Open Title Houston, and this is Open with Open Title. That's our weekly podcast to bring you up to date on all things title. I'm joined by my co-host Gaby Pozas of Open Title. Hey, Gab, how you doing today?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Open with Open Title. I'm so excited to co-host this podcast with Craine, and let's see where this is going to take us.
There we go. There we go. So, Gabby, I love telling the story about how I identified wanting to work with you. Gabby and I were in a networking group together, and Gabby had resigned her position at her previous employer. So everybody in the networking group, oh, we so sad, and we this and we that, we're gonna miss you, stuff like that. Of course, I went up to Gabby and said, well, I want to have a parade because I want to hire you. And that was over a year later. Tell us about your experience with that, Gabby.
I mean, to me, it was a surprise. So, yes, as he said, I was working for another organization. It was a nonprofit. I was there for 3 years, and I just needed I needed a break. Two, I needed a change, right? But my main thing is I needed a break. So I put my 2-week notice. I announced it on our networking group that I was leaving the group because I was not having a job. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't have anything lined up. And honestly, I was perfectly fine with that. At that time, I was even like, hey, probably I'm going to be a stay-at-home wife. I just needed a break, right? And yes, came to me and said like, well, you're going to come work with me. And I'm like, I need a break. So it was 3 months that I remember would call or text like, hey, how are you doing? Are you ready to come back to work? And I was like, no. So finally, I was like, okay, what's all this about, right? And I remember telling you, like, I know nothing about title. And you said, you don't need to know. You're going to do exactly what you've been doing for the last 14 years, which is business development, just for a different company. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I love it. I learn a lot. I have learned a lot about title company. I think I would never be behind a desk doing all the paperwork because that's just not me. But I love what I do, and I'm really grateful that we crossed paths at that networking group because not only for the job opportunity, but I think you've helped me grow not only in a professional way, but in a personal way. Um, I've always said that, you learn something from everyone that you work with. And I've
Absolutely.
learned a lot from previous bosses, previous coworkers, but I think what I've learned from you, especially, it's just like huge. Uh, sometimes it worries me because sometimes I feel like I'm the female version of you.
That's not a bad thing.
I used to be sweeter and more like,
Used to be, who knew? Who knew? And see, and the what makes Open Title different is because of our philosophy about growth, our philosophy about helping our clients do better, build out their brands, get more exposure. I remember the first time I introduced Gabby to some of our toys, I like to call them our toys, and our resources. And I remember this look that she had on her face. And then, boy, that look is gone. She knows how to put on a posting party, a showcase, a C class, a training, presentations at brokerages. And it's all built on the foundation and the philosophy of growth and building our clients' business. So, in that regard, Gabby, what's your favorite project to do in regard to our brand at Open Title?
so I like everything that I do, right? Like I'm a people person, so anything that involves being around people, to me, but I have to say, the luxury showcases for me are like, something else. I love our classes, I love our posting parties, but luxury showcases have that special thing. I don't do them that often because obviously there's not a lot of properties in the market like on that level that we do these events, but I love those events. I love bringing, like the luxury pop-up vendors, and
Yeah,
having, the 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 food spread, and all the guests and all that, the DJ. I remember one time we even had to hire valet parking, right?
exactly.
Company. So I love luxury.
And see, we've had some luxury showcases. One we had, I had messed up my knee and I couldn't go upstairs. Like, why are all those people going upstairs? What the hell is going on upstairs? And then they said, yeah, the ladies up there getting Botox treatments. Like, what? They got they got Botox treatment at a luxury showcase. And they said, Botox and luxury go hand in hand.
So I read somewhere, I don't, maybe Facebook, TikTok, saying like there's no ugly women. There's just poor husbands that cannot afford the Botox and the plastic surgery and all that stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that. But see, I look like when we go into these luxury showcases, and we'll stay on that for a minute. We go into these luxury showcases. You got the pop-up stores, custom jewelers, Botox. You have aromatherapy. You have clothing. You have accessories. You have all these things. You have sometimes the showcase is self-serve. Sometimes we have servers. They're walking around serving you champagne and hors d'oeuvres and things like that. We have music. It could be a DJ or it could be a jazz quartet. It's just a whole dynamic showing people. We're showcasing the house, number one, but we're showcasing the house in a way to create content and opportunities for our agent builder partners to get it out there in to the masses to show, hey, this is not putting it on MLS. This is marketing the house to get it sold, marketing the house to get it exposed. And when you have a caretaker of a project like Gaby, who loves, she's the people person. I can be disgruntled over in a side sometimes, or I'm engaged. I could go either way. She's always up, whereas I'm always like, when these people leaving?
I will go and be like,
this is
EL,
what we do.
smile, change your face.
Exactly. Okay. And so, but think about it. When we work with agents and their luxury listings, they don't have to worry about if it's going to be exposed. We live to expose these luxury homes and whatnot, because the more exposure for the home, the more exposure for the agent. More exposure for the agent, more exposure for the lender, more exposure for the lender, more exposure for the insurance person, the wealth manager, the home warranty, the inspector, open title. Opening with open title, as we call the show, Open with Open Title, this is an opportunity for our current clientele and future clientele to understand our value proposition. Like our COO, Eric, likes to say, have you explained the value proposition? And Gaby and I have conversations all the time. Everybody doesn't get the value proposition. So, Gaby, if you can, tell them about our value proposition and what separates us from other title companies, for want of a better description.
Before I jump into that, let me tell you, I'm working right now with an agent that it's, you know her. I'm not going to mention her name, but we are doing a luxury homestead showcase. So this property is over $1 million. It's luxury, but it's more like a farm style. It's luxury. So, and I love this because we're having the pop-up vendors. I mean, obviously she doesn't want this super fancy food because it doesn't go with the style of the house. So we're going to go more like country, things like that. But this property has some they used to have a farm.
Right.
So one of the pop-up vendors, it's going to be this company that brings the mini goats and the ones that you do yoga with them, the hardland cows, that like little cows. So we're gonna have those. I'm so excited. It's and that's the beauty of what we do, El. We are not cookie cutters. So every event is designed around the property that we're showcasing, right? If it's something luxury, obviously we're not gonna come and have, tacos, right? But like for this one that it's more in the country, even though it's luxury, we're gonna have a twist. So for that event, and I know you're going to attend, if you want to find me around, I know you'll always find me around people. I'm going to be outside petting the cows and the goats and whatnot. So I'm going to set up, and then Gabby is playing with the animals, with the farm animals. So.
And see, yeah, and I realized that when I talked to our client this morning, because when you asked me about goat yesterday, I was telling you about greatest of all time, and you was actually talking about an animal. So you was talking about an animal. I'm talking about greatest of all time.
No,
She said, "What does she mean by goat?"
We were confused,
Greatest
and
of all
I said,
time.
no, we're literally bringing farm
A real goat.
animals.
Yeah, many goats. I'm like,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
The last time I was with a goat, I was watching it barbecue. I'm just saying. Okay.
Well, this one is going to be a little bit different, and that's part of our value proposition, right? So yes, we're a title company. Yes, we handle all your closings, all your refinances. We do residential, commercial, land, ranches. We do everything that a regular title company does. However, we go a step ahead.
That's right.
We help our agents market their listings. We help the agents by providing that exposure that just having their listing on the MLS or putting a sign outside saying for sale. We go ahead. We go like one step forward. So we have partnerships with Homes and Land magazine.
Yes.
We just launched our very first Agent Advantage magazine, where we're listing all of our agents' properties that are there for sale, and we're sending it to over 10,000 agents, not only in Texas but nationwide.
Absolutely.
We provide posting parties. We host luxury events. We do concierge closings. All this to help our agents showcase their listings, be able to provide a great service for their clients, because if their clients are happy with them, that means the agent is happy with us, and they're gonna return. We're gonna keep doing business. So for me, I remember when you explained all what Open Title was providing that other title companies didn't do. I had just built a new house. I don't remember if I don't know if you remember me telling you this. You were telling me all this and what a concierge closing is. And for those of you who don't know what a concierge closing is, basically we close at the property that the buyer is buying, obviously, or
just purchased. Yeah.
They can invite up to 6 people, family or friends, to celebrate with them. We provide a breakfast, brunch, or lunch spread. We provide champagne for the toast. We bring a videographer to record all that. And to me, I was like, I just closed on my house and I had to ask for a bottle of water. That was it. They didn't even provide it. And to me, buying a house, it's not like buying a pair of shoes or buying,
No.
It's a big thing that it needs to be celebrated. And I love that we get the opportunity to offer this to our clients to celebrate their agents on this huge milestone. Either they're first-time homeowners, or they are upgrading, or they're downsizing because now they're empty nesters. So there's always something to celebrate, right? I know EL is going to say no to this, but I mean, it's nice to have the pictures with the keys, or the just sold, or just say, I knew. It's nice. We do it too. We have the signs. But honestly, like buying or selling a property, it's something that needs and deserves to be celebrated. And I love the fact that we provide that. And the best part of it is that everything is at no cost to our agents. We get some sponsors, and the agent does not have to spend a dime on this.
Are you a Texas real estate professional looking for a better title company experience? One without the headache or poor customer experience? At Open Title Texas, our mission is to make the closing process as stress-free and efficient as possible for everyone involved. With an attorney leading our mission, we understand the importance of accuracy in all aspects of the title process. At Open Title Texas, We believe that our attention to detail and unwavering dedication to customer service is what sets us apart in the title industry. And we're not just a title company. We're a growth and business development agency. We're designed to elevate the future business of our clients, done through collaboration and exclusive programs to increase opportunities for clients and partners. Open Title of Texas, opening the door to home ownership. Reach out today at open-title.com.
And my favorite concierge closing of all time, this is before Gaby started working with me. We had a concierge closing at this $2 million house. And we asked the husband about some special things for my wife. We found a company to do a double Dutch chocolate ice cream cake. So we had this cake, then we had this spread, and we had the champagne, and everything was all laid out. And she was more excited about the double Dutch chocolate ice cream cake than she was about getting the new house, which was $2 million. And her husband said, if I'd have known this, I'd have just bought you the ice cream. And the beauty of it was a really memorable thing. Everybody that was involved in the transaction was there. Inspector, insurance, mortgage, title, of course, we were closing it, home warranty, everybody was there. And they were celebrating, and they saw this spread, they were taking pictures. So the owners, or the previous owners who were selling the house, they were there. Then, like, everything's going on, like, a few of the neighbors that knew the owners that were selling the house came over, like, what's going on? Oh, we're celebrating the sale of the house, and this is the new buyer. So they had neighbors and everybody there getting celebrating with the ice cream cake and getting the champagne and stuff like that. And in this house, they had a built-in bar that overlooked the living room. So I remember somebody saying, where is EL? I was upstairs in the bar looking down over the living room. I had a cocktail in my hand, and they said, EL, come down and do pictures. I said, I'm not coming down until I finish my drink. So, but it was this huge celebration. And so when it was all over with, the seller of the house went up to the agent that we were working with and says, I want you to help me find a new home. And when we find this new home, I want all of this. Can you handle that? And of course, the agent said, absolutely, I can. About a month and a half later, we did the same exact thing in a $3 million house that he bought. So this whole thing is about marketing, it's about content, but it's also about the excitement of the celebration. And the celebration actually triggers new opportunities for our agents to get new business. It's just the most amazing thing you ever think. And I have seen people try to duplicate what we do. They don't even come close. And now we have a situation, and I tell people all the time, Gaby is the queen of posting parties, all right? We have my two youngest sons are interning for us this summer. So they went to their first posting party, and they were there with the food. And of course, if there's food in my sons, it's like a match made in heaven. Let's start right there, all right? And my sons are also food snobs. Let's not leave that part out. So they go to this event at this house because they've been to open houses with me before, and no big deal. They got there for, Daddy, they got sushi over here. I know. They got charcuterie boards over here. I know. And they were just like, is this how it's going to be all the time? They're more interested in the posting parties and the events than going to do their regular job. I'm like, yeah, if y'all don't get out there and do y'all's regular job. But that's the excitement that it generates, though. It's really the excitement that it generates, though. Even though we drive Eric, that's our boss of bosses. Eric, he doesn't say anything about our expenses now. He says nothing about our expenses because he sees that our events are actually generators of new business. And he got me, like, tell the story about the posting party you had when you got a contract the next day from a visitor.
So, yes, we had a posting party in Rocheron, Texas, which for me, where I live, I had to drive like an hour and a half. And that's the other thing. Like, we don't care where you have your
That's it, at all.
I just went and did a concierge closing like 3 weeks ago to Georgetown, Texas,
Yes.
which is like half an hour from Austin. So we do that too.
Yes.
Anyway, so we were having this posting party, and the night before, the listing agent calls me around 8 p.m. and says, hey, I have a request for a showing tomorrow before the posting party. Should I say no? And my answer was like, no, never turn around. I mean, never turn away a showing. That might be, the people who are going to buy the house. Just let the agents know that we're going to be setting up for an event. Just, they don't walk in the door and be surprised, like, what's all these people doing here? So they agree, right? Well, one thing happened, or I don't know what happened, but they got delayed. So that agent and their clients, the ones that were going to come and do the showing, for some reason they changed the order of the houses they were going to see, and they left this one to the very end. So they walk in while we had the music, the food, the mimosas, the champagne. People were there, and so they walk in, they see the house, and this agent, that was the last house that they were gonna see, right? So the agent says bye to their clients, and she stays and starts asking us questions like, what is this? And so we explain everything, like what we did. Our client was like, oh, Gaby is the one that, hosts this event. So I explained everything to her. We offer her food, we offer her a glass of champagne, and she even stayed to the very end and helped us clean. Okay. That agent that was just coming for a showing, she didn't have a business card with her, so I gave her my business card. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna hear back from her or whatnot. So that same day, a couple of hours later, she sends me a text and says, hey, here is my contact information. I'm like, okay, great. That was a Tuesday. Wednesday, she calls me and says, hey, I need the information of the address of the office because I'm sending you a contract. And I'm like, okay. I sent her the information. I'm like, I don't think she's going to send anything, right? I mean, we have not even talked except for
Right.
the little interaction that we had at the posting party. Well, sure enough, she sent us a contract, and we're under contract with her right now. And all because she saw the value that we as a title company provide to the agents. And she's like, I want this for me and for my team. And not only we're under contract with her, we had a luxury showcase a week after, and I invited her. And she's like, can I invite other agents? And I'm like, sure enough. She came with 5 other agents that I would have never met if it was not for her, right?
Exactly.
So, and she was the one, she was not even letting me explain what a posting party or a luck. She was the one explaining everything to them. And I have not even done a posting party for her. I know she has one listing coming for a posting party, but it just happened like that. It was just random. And then there was another one. I think I told you about this one. We were doing a posting party. There was this lender that he was going live. And while he was going live, he received a phone call from someone saying, I want to put an offer on this house. And they're like, but you have not even seen it. It's like, I don't care. Location, everything, what you are showing, I want to put an offer in this house. We're closing next week on that house.
It's a facilitator. Our posting parties are luxury showcases. These are all facilitators to create opportunities for the agents we work with, to create opportunities for open title, create opportunities for the mortgage companies. We have some vendor partners. It's like Keely Moore with Free Model, and we have Jordan Van Hour with Greenworks. And they have been a part of it. They're like, okay, this is not normal. This is not normal at all. All right. And, I felt bad for Gaby on Monday because she wasn't feeling well Monday. But we had a luxury charter bus tour from Houston to Galveston. Now, getting agents out of bed early is like an exercise. The bus registration was at 9 a.m. or it actually started at 8:45 a.m. and it went to 9:30. The bus held 58 people. We had a waiting list to get on the bus because the bus was packed. So since the waiting list couldn't get on the bus, we had cars following the bus down to Galveston. We toured 2 condominiums at the Galvestonian. We toured this historical house that was built in 1888. And then we toured a beach house. And the raves and the excitement and the joy of this event, that agents on the bus were approaching Open Title, as well as some of our vendor partners on the bus. Hey, can we do this for my listing? Can we do this for a builder I want to work with? Because we go to builder communities, we do resale listings, we do the whole thing with bus tours, we do continued education classes for agents, we do training programs. There's a lot that we do at Open Title that is not customary in the marketplace, which is what separates us. And, like me, my favorite response when somebody says, I've never heard of Open Title, my response is, I ain't never heard of your ass either. So now that we got that out of the way, let me show you the value of working with Open Title. See, and even when we do classes, I always tease everybody. I tell them I'm the sweet one. Gaby is the one that got the bad attitude. But we are honest in our approach. We sincerely want to help you grow your business. We have selfish intent because we want to grow our business as well. But we are going to build out your brand. You're going to build out your exposure. You're going to build out your marketing. These are the things that we do at Open Title that others just don't do. They don't. We have had to fire brokerages because they couldn't understand the value of working with us, that they couldn't even see what value we just brought to them. And like, okay, Stevie Wonder could see what we do, okay? But they didn't see that. So what we're telling you is, if you want to grow your business, if you want to elevate your brand, if you want to expose your builder inventory, if you want to expose communities that are not customarily in the marketplace, you need to get a hold of Gaby Pozas and Craine at Open Title Texas. We're easy to find. Open-title.com.
Call us. And even if we're busy, at least we're going to, or if we're in a meeting or whatnot, we're going to at least send like, hey, in a meeting, call you later. We're going to acknowledge that I got your phone call, I got your message, I'll call you in a bit. And we do, right? Agents need that. Agents need to be partnering with someone that they know they're going to answer the phone,
yes,
answer an email, answer a text, because real estate is not, we're in a time frame for closing, right? There are issues, things come up, they have questions. We understand escrow officers are busy doing the closings and all that, but we're always available for them. And that's something that our agents really, really like about us at Open Title, that we are very responsive all the time. Obviously, we sleep. Well, I sleep. EL doesn't sleep that much. But
not at all.
And I know because I've seen emails at 2, 3 in the morning. And I remember one day I even answered your email at 3 in the morning because I was not sleeping well. What are we doing email at 3 in the morning? Anyways, that's something. We are not only doing all these events and classes and whatnot, we also take care of the agents on the very basic things that they need for their business, which is answer the phone, answer the text, find out what's going on. So if your title
it's what separates us.
Answering.
Yeah. And we always talk about, if your title company is not assisting in the growth of your business, why are you your title company? Because we don't sit here and say, you got a contract, We say, hey, let's get this thing sold to generate a contract. And this is what you will also embrace about us. We don't dress up for our podcast. We dress like this every day, because we are not only representing Open Title, we're representing you in the marketplace. And you don't want to work with anybody that's going to diminish your brand. So being professional is not our job. Being professional is who we are. Open Title is here to represent your brand, elevate your brand, grow your business, assist you in the development of new business opportunities. This is what Open Title does. This is what Gaby does. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what Gaby does. Each and every day when we wake up, our job is to increase your opportunities while you're working with Open Title.
Agreed, 100%.
So we are glad you joined us for Open with Open Title today. We're going to be doing this weekly, sharing weekly updates and processes and programs that we're doing. We have a great many things coming up over the next couple of months, from C classes to training programs to bus trips, everything. We are citywide, statewide. Our concierge closings has no boundaries. Our closing opportunities have no boundaries. Gaby is bilingual. All I do is speak whiskey. That's my language is whiskey. She's bilingual. So only thing I know in Spanish is dos tequilas. That's it. You got me after that. Now I can cuss up a storm in Spanish. That's it.
I still need to hear that.
And you won't. And you won't.
Well, and also, as you can see, we're kind of fun to be around too.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, because we know it's a stressful environment, but it also should be a joyful environment. Our job is to make it less stressful, more joyful. But before we close out, reach out to us for the Agent Advantage Listing Guide. It's distributed locally, statewide, and nationally to give you and your listings exposure. Gaby, give me your number so they can get in contact with you about the listing guide.
And we're going to put the emails and phone numbers here.
Right here. You can see it right here.
Yes. Yeah. And hey, I know we're going to do this weekly, but I also want to let people know that you're not going to be always stuck just with EL and myself. I mean, yes, we're going to be here, but we're going to have guests. So it's going to be super fun. I'm excited about that.
Yes. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Gaby. And we'll be in the studio together next week.
Yes. Thank you so much. And
bye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.